나를 보고 말없이 살라하고 장공은 나를 보고 없이 살라하니 탐욕도 벗어놓고 불같이 바람같이
명품 보이스 김수연 명창 선생님의 그 소리를 듣고 때로는 눈물도 나고 기쁘기도 하고
취임새를 해주면 미약하나마 힘을 얻어서 가시지 않았을까 그런 생각 해봅니다.
우리 판소리가 우리나라에서뿐만 아니라 전 세계로 뻗어나가는데 큰 역할을 해주시면 감사하겠습니다. 건강하십시오.
선생님 사랑합니다. 발 올라.
There is no greater blessing than to have good health as you grow old. Even though my mom is over 70, she is peppy and full of energy. One day, our family started practicing Taekwondo, and it turned out to be a special blessing for us. Taekwondo family, return to happiness.
옛날에는 택시부터 시작해가지고 버스, 덤프트럭, 낮과 밤이 없이 몸이 부서지도록 일을 했죠. 그러다 보니까 몸이 많이 망가졌어요. 허리 협착증도 생겼고 무릎도 아프고 이제는 내 삶이 다 됐는갑다 생각을 하고 사는 것도 싫고 완전 좌절을 했죠.
지팡이를 짚고 다니실 만큼 근력이 약해지셔가지고 너무 힘들었는데 우연찮게 실버 태권도라는 거를 알게 되셨어요.
다리도 안 올라갔거든요, 솔직히. 근데 64세부터 태권도를 해서 7년째 하고 있습니다.
인상 인상도 너무 밝아지셨고 빨리 가고 싶다고 하시고 도복을 보면서 흐뭇해 하시더라고요. 그때부터 어머니의 삶이 다시 시작이 된 것 같고 지팡이를 안 짚기 시작하셨어요. 그게 진짜 놀라운 변화인 것 같습니다.
어르신들이 운동을 통해서 노년을 건강한 생활을 할 수 있게끔 도와주는 게 바로 저는 태권도라고 생각이 듭니다.
Not only did Mother experience this change, but her fellow teammates also felt reborn due to the dramatic change in their lives.
너무 좋아요. 온 세상을 다 얻은 것 같죠. 제가 태권도 전도사가 된 것 같아요.
열정이 높으신 분이죠. 그 가족 전체가 태권도 가족입니다. 아주 화목하고 건강이 넘치는 대한민국의 대표적인 태권도 가족이 아닌가 싶습니다.
We're a family that loves practicing Taekwondo, so we've embarked on a new challenge.
사실 저희 가족들이 아픔이 정말 많습니다. 제가 아침에 일어났는데 반신이 마비가 왔었고 저희 아이는 태어나자마자 인공 심박기를 달았었고 정상으로도 살기 힘들다는 진단을 받았었지만 이 아이를 보면서 기적이라는 것을 알게 됐거든요. 그래서 태권도는 행복 그 자체입니다.
태권도를 해서 강해지니까 더 자신감이 올라가고 행복해요.
I believe Taekwondo is a blessing from heaven. It has made us hopeful for the future. Every day, we're excited to see what's in store for us tomorrow. Practice it with your family. Taekwondo brings happiness.
장다 똥땅땅단 똥땅땅단.
많이 힘드네요.
왕년에 장구 좀 치셨나 봐요.
아니 앞뒤가 누가 있지 다시.
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Thursday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon-soa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-festivals, K-sports, K-everything. And we're going to do all of that together with my co-host Bella Kim in the studio. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. And hello to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, back back again to co-host and fill you guys in with the latest in K-entertainment.
Happy to have you back, Bella. And let's start with our daily dose of K-entertainment news with you. So, Bella, we're going to start off with a story that definitely proves that Stray Kids is a global phenomenon.
Definitely. Stray Kids have surpassed 1 million units of physical and digital album sales in the US this year alone. This marks their second consecutive year to achieve 1 million album sales in the US, and they're actually the first K-pop artist this year to accomplish this feat. Previously, Stray Kids set a major record when Karma debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart last week, becoming the first artist in the chart's 70-year history to have 7 consecutive works reach #1 immediately upon entry. Furthermore, they became the first K-pop artist this year to top the charts, and their 7 total #1 entries solidified their status as the K-pop act with the most #1 placements on the Billboard 200. Meanwhile, Stray Kids will hold encore performances of their world tour. Stray Kids World Tour Dominate Celebrate at the Incheon Asiad main stadium on October 18th and 19th.
Wow, so many firsts for the group.
Yes.
Now, Bella, we have another K-pop group that's also making their mark on the global stage. This time a girl group.
That's right, it's aespa. aespa will embark on global activities to promote their latest EP, Rich Man. The group will first appear on ABC's flagship morning program, Good Morning America, this Friday, marking their 3rd time on the show. Then aespa will take part in the recording of Fox TV's Jennifer Hudson show, where they will showcase a live performance of the title track, Rich Man, and also join a talk segment on the show. Rich Man, just released last Friday, has surpassed 1 million album sales, putting aespa on a track for its 7th consecutive million seller. Meanwhile, aespa will meet with fans through a large-scale arena tour across Asia starting in October.
Wow, I mean, it's not every day that you see Korean K-pop groups on American TV, and not only once, but their 3rd time on Good Morning America and on 2 major TV shows. That is quite impressive.
Definitely.
And we're gonna end off with a new series that's coming out on Disney+.
Disney Plus is set to release its first 사극 Korean original historical drama series, The Murky Stream, or 탐류 in Korean. The new series is an action drama set in the Joseon era, revolving around the turbulent waters of Gyeonggang, where all money and resources converge. It follows the destinies of individuals with different dreams, striving to live with dignity in a corrupt world. The Murky Stream is directed by Chu Chang-min, known for the 2012 hit Masquerade, and also written by Chun Sung-il, marking his return to historical drama since The Slave Hunters 14 years ago. The series stars Ro-eun, Shin Ye-eun, Park So-ham, and Park Ji-hwan. It has also been officially invited to the on-screen section of the 30th Busan International Film Festival. The Murky Stream will premiere on Disney Plus with the first 3 episodes on September 26th, followed by 2 episodes released every week, totaling 9 episodes.
I mean, Korea has been already successful with 사극 on other platforms, but I wonder how it will do on Disney Plus and how the response by the global viewers will be. Well, thank you very much, Bella, for those updates, and stick around.
Will do.
And now let's move over to our AI anchor, Ari, for more on the culture front. Ari?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The highly anticipated Key Royal Culture Festival for the fall season returns next month across Korea's 4 major palaces and Jongmyo Shrine. At Gyeongbokgung Palace, visitors can enjoy traditional games and crafts while wearing hanbok, and watch master artisans of national and tangible heritage create hanbok using traditional techniques. For the first time, Changdeokgung Palace will host a night program featuring guided storytelling about how people observed the night sky during the Joseon Dynasty. Deoksugung Palace will feature children's programs and a humanities concert inspired by Korea's traditional mask dance. Changgyeonggung Palace will showcase exhibitions and craft workshops, shedding light on the lives of women of the Korean Empire's royal family. The festival will run from October 8th to 12th. The Yeongdong World Traditional Music and Arts Expo 2025, Korea's first ever expo dedicated to gugak, or Korean traditional music, kicks off Friday in Yeongdong, Chungcheongbuk-do Province. Held under the theme The Fragrance of Gugak, permeating the world. The month-long event will open with a grand ceremony on Friday night. During the festival, visitors can explore 3 main exhibition halls highlighting Gugak's history and its role as the roots of K-pop, while also enjoying performances featuring folk music from 30 countries. Organizers are aiming to draw 1 million visitors from Korea and abroad, vowing to preserve the tradition of Gugak while showcasing its modern relevance and industrial potential. Smart Life Week 2025, an ICT expo hosted by the Seoul city government, will take place from September 30th to October 2nd at Seoul's COEX. Now in its 2nd year, SLW goes beyond a typical exhibition, highlighting Seoul's vision for inclusive technology. The event aims to bring together over 200 cities, 300 companies, and some 60,000 experts and citizens from around the world to discuss and share strategies for realizing smart city models. Under the theme AI for Humanity, Smart Cities Leading Tomorrow, the high-tech event will showcase cutting-edge technologies from Korea and abroad, offering visitors a glimpse into the future of urban life. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
Let's go over to the Gwangju Design Biennale 2025, where you can catch the latest global design trends, artwork for everyday life, and cutting-edge technology all in one place. Cha Yun-kyung has this report.
This exhibition space replicates the interior of subway station. It features a ticket booth and spacious ticket gates that are accessible for wheelchairs, and the subway map is tilted at a 15-degree angle for easier viewing. The inclusive design elements that allow everyone to use public transport comfortably will be incorporated into the actual renovation of Gwangju subway stations.
We tried to elaborate how design can embrace humanity. Those infographics on the wall will be reflected in the subway renovations.
The Gwangju Design Biennale 2025, now in its 11th year, has been running since the end of August. The theme of the exhibition is inclusive design. Inclusive design goes beyond form and function to include social, cultural, and emotional factors to create an inclusive society where no one is left behind and everyone is respected. About 430 designers from 19 countries, including the US, Japan, and UK, participated.
This exhibition will show how design creates the meeting and coexistence of those infinite worlds.
There are 4 different exhibition halls and 163 pieces of artwork based on the themes of global leading design, mobility, and AI technology. Tours run from Tuesday to Sunday every hour for the regular tour and every 30 minutes for the pre-reserved tour from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. The Gwangju Design Biennale continues until November 2nd. Cha Yun-kyung, Arirang News.
It's time for the latest in the world of K-sports, from football friendlies to the KBO and to MLB. We've got it all covered by our sportscaster Jason Lee, who's joining us in the studio. Hello, Jason. Welcome back.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Bella.
All right, Jason. Korea played a couple of soccer games. I'm saying soccer because it happened in North America. So that happened in the past week. And let's talk about the first game first, Korea against the U.S. And Korea won 2-0. And although I'm not a football expert or a soccer expert, I would have to say that's quite a great game for Korea, right, against the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S. is technically ranked higher than Korea in terms of the FIFA standing. So certainly to take a 2-0 win against them, I think certainly a good result in the end. And I thought, you know, the game was much closer than the score would indicate, first and foremost. But the first thought that came to me after this game was, I thought Cho Hyun-woo might just be the best keeper that Korea has ever had. And, you know, obviously, Lee Eun-jae is the gold standard when you talk about keepers in Korea. Of course, he was amazing in helping Korea stop a penalty shot en route to reaching the quarterfinals in the 2002 World Cup, especially in their match against Spain. But the more and more that I watch Cho Hyun-woo play, I really think he is simply that much better at blocking balls. I mean, his reaction time is incredible. He's 7 centimeters taller than Lee Eun-jae, and that's just his height from toe to head. So you factor in his wingspan, he's going to be able to get to balls maybe 15, 20 centimeters further on each side. And when you watch that game against the U.S., he made some saves that had no business being stopped. So it's great to see him playing well. I'm really glad that he was named K-League MVP last season, but I kind of think it's time for him to maybe get some international recognition as well, perhaps get a contract overseas rather than only playing in Korea. And maybe, you know, the upcoming World Cup will be an opportunity for him to play to a bigger audience.
But we need him in Korea, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's been playing so well for his team as well. But beyond Cho Hyun-woo in the game against the U.S., I would say obviously Son Heung-min stood out for his goal from a very sharp angle down the left wing, and then he also set up a really nice goal for Lee Dong-kyun as well. So Son Heung-min, as usual, played very well, and the U.S. media was talking about him in that game, saying, how could the U.S. team just, you know, leave him alone as much as they did? So they're very critical of the U.S. team in not doing a good job in marking Son Heung-min, thinking like, obviously that's just not a guy that you should be leaving alone. Other players, Lee Jae-sung also had a great game, but he eventually left the game with a hamstring injury, and it looks like he'll probably miss a significant amount of time. So our thoughts are certainly going to be with him and his recovery. He is going to be a key player for Korea. You would think, I mean, a hamstring injury, he should be fine by the World Cup next year. But at the same time, you want him to still play for his team in Germany as well. So hopefully he'll get better very soon.
Let's hope so. And I wish there would be, like, a week we would not talk about injuries.
I know.
Yeah,
And
it seems
yes,
like.
but unfortunately it happens, especially with hamstring.
Yeah, and one of their better players, too. I mean, he's definitely a top 5, perhaps a top 3 player on the national team, I would say.
Okay, let's hope for his recovery soon.
Definitely. And I knew Cho Hyun-woo was a great keeper, but to hear from you, maybe perhaps the best Korean keeper they
Maybe
had,
ever.
it's amazing. And I really look forward to, you know, maybe getting some love calls from abroad, of course, more chances for him to play abroad. And I also want to talk about the Tuesday game against Mexico as well, which was Wednesday Korea time, which ended in a 2-2 draw. What kind of stood out in this match?
Yeah, certainly a great game. Korea, you know, they surrendered the first goal. They scored 2 to, you know, flip things over, but then they gave up a goal in injury time to settle for a draw. So a little bit unfortunate in the result, but at the same time, you know, they showed some grit being able to catch up after conceding the first goal. First off, I would say Hong Myung-bo used pretty much a different lineup, including a different keeper, as longtime national keeper Kim Seung-kyu had a chance to kind of remind Hong Myung-bo of his abilities as well, and because, hey, you know, like I'm pretty good as well, and he played fine, but again, I'm just really impressed every time I see Jo Hyun-woo play. But, you know, it's good to have two great keepers as well. So otherwise, Lee Gang-in, I would say, stood out once again in this game. His creative passes, he had a couple of really long passes that set up some great opportunities that they did not score on. But again, showing his abilities. He did not start against the U.S., but he did get the start in this game. So I think Hong Min-pyo experimenting with different player chemistry. So it's kind of interesting to see. Oh Hyun-gyu scored the go-ahead goal for Korea with just 15 minutes left, and he looked dangerous throughout the game, but he also missed a lot of opportunities. So a bit of a mixed result for him, I would say. Again, Son Heung-min did not start this game, but he did enter the game to start the second half, and he made an immediate impact, scoring the game's tying goal at the 65th minute mark on an absolute rocket. He just blew this by the keeper through his hands. It didn't matter that he was there. And it was a left-footed shot.
Right.
So Sonny showing as his ambidextrous abilities again with an absolute rocket of a left footer. The one other player that I did want to mention was Jens Kastrup. We talked about him a bit the last time a couple weeks ago. He's the half German, half Korean player that was recently added to the national team. And I've got to say that I like what he brings to the team. He definitely adds a lot of grit and toughness. He might not be as skilled as some of the top players on the team, but he's the kind of player that I would say every team needs. You want a guy who's kind of leading by example, doing the dirty work that not all players are capable of doing in his style. And I think he's going to be a good influence on this team in the future. I hope to see a lot more of him on the national team.
Same here, as a person with a German background. And I did also read that in his first game as in the national team, that his mother was like crying and screaming watching the game, according to his brother. So.
I can only imagine.
Yes, and that's probably because his mother is Korean and his father is German. So it must be a very proud moment.
He made a big decision because now that he's played for the Korean national team on the senior level, he is, you know, prolonging, or he's essentially saying that he's not going to play for the German national team from here on in. So the fact that he's on the Korean senior squad now, he's with Team Korea now.
Right, but I wonder what his dad would think about it. That's a different story. Now, there has also been quite a lot of news surrounding the Korean players in the Major League Baseball.
Yes.
So let's start with the news of Kim Ha-sung switching teams from Tampa Bay to Atlanta.
Yeah, quite an unexpected development, I would say. I didn't really see this coming, although maybe I should have. So what actually happened was that Kim Ha-sung was released by the Tampa Bay Rays, which, again, a little bit surprising. He wasn't playing great, but it was only a small sample size since he was returning from a shoulder injury. Just played 24 games before having the plug pulled on him. And I think the reason that they went with this decision is because they've got a young shortstop named Carson Williams. And he's seen as the team's shortstop of the future. He's a young prospect. He's got good power, speed numbers, not the best hitter overall, and certainly not as good defensively as Kim Ha-sung. So in the end, Kim Ha-sung was released, and I think what the original plan was to have Kim Ha-sung, you know, finish out his 2-year contract with them, because he's under contract for him for another year next year, and then have Williams come up sometime late next year was probably the plan. But I guess they felt that Williams is probably ready, and they decided to you know, push the agenda up a little bit, and that basically made Kim expendable. And my guess is that Tampa Bay probably shopped him around a month ago at the trade deadline and maybe got some interest from other teams, which kind of told them that, you know what, there are teams that are interested in him. So even if we didn't complete the trade, if we release him, somebody might sign him, meaning that they would also have to pay his $16 million salary next year. So Tampa Bay gets to save a little bit of money. They're not really big spenders. So I think that was the thought process that the Rays were thinking. And they were right, because the Braves claimed him off waivers as he'd struggled all season. They've been struggling all season in finding a shortstop. They really didn't have anyone for next season as well. So I think this actually makes a lot lot of sense for both of them because Kim, at the very least, he's a really good defensive shortstop. He's won a Gold Glove, and he can add a little bit of pop with the bat as well as some speed with his legs. I think he's really going to make Atlanta a lot better. And Kim Ha-sung gets to be on a legitimate contender. Atlanta's having a bad season this year, but I think they could be a quality team going into next season as well. So we'll see. He's at a small sample size because he's returning from an injury. So I think what the Braves are hoping is that he just gets some reps into the position for the last few weeks of this season, and then ideally he'll be ready to start next year as their starting six.
But he has already made a home run, right? Hit a home run already. For Atlanta, yes. So that's a news for him. And also he was joined by Lee Jung-woo as well, who actually recently hit a home run as well. So please tell us about that as well. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, as you mentioned, Kim Ha-sung, only 5 games with Atlanta. He's already got a home run for them. But Lee Jung-woo, one of the hottest players lately. He's been red hot as of late, hitting .341 since August the 1st. And as you mentioned, he just hit his 8th home run of the year 2 days ago against Arizona. And I think overall, Lee Jung-woo is having probably about the season that most people would have expected. Maybe his numbers could be slightly better, but I think the fact that he's coming off a shoulder surgery, it was always going to take a little bit of time and tempered expectations for this season. So if he can stay hot for the last 3 weeks of the season, maybe hit a couple more home runs to reach double digits and maybe raise his average a little. I think he's at 270 right now. So if he could bump that up to, let's say, 280, 285, I think the Giants would definitely feel much better about the $113 million that they've got invested in him so far.
All right. I still remember just a few weeks ago when he hit his 7th home run on his 27th birthday. I remember it. Yeah, that number was just easy to remember. But really doing great there. But one more baseball story we want to ask you about is, Jason. It involves Lee Jung-woo's former teammate, Song Sung-moon. And he was named KBO's best player of the month of August. That was quite a surprise. And it seems that he now asked the Kium Heroes to post him to the Major League Baseball. So what is that about? And do you think he has great chances overseas? We'll have to see. So, I mean, the Kium Heroes have been the team that has sent every one of them. Kim Hae-sung, Kim Ha-sung, Lee Jung-woo, Kang Jung-ho before that. I mean, Park Byung-ho as well. So it seems like everyone that's played for Kium that's been any good, you know, seems to get a call from MLB, Song Sung-moon, hoping that he's next in line. And I'll be honest, I mean, I've never really thought of Song Sung-moon as a Major League Baseball player, but that's mostly because he's never really produced that much over his 11-year career so far. Having said that, he is producing right now, and better late than never. Like I said, I would say that he's been kind of more of an average, maybe slightly above average KBO player in past years. But as you mentioned, he was Player of the Month for August, 8 home runs, 726 slugging percentage for the month. And the last 2 seasons now, he's slugged over 500 with an OPS over 900. So I guess my answer would be you never know. I mean, I don't think he comes with the same enthusiasm as guys like Lee Jung-woo or Kim Hae-sung or Kim Ha-sung. But remember, there are 30 Major League Baseball teams, and you only need one of those teams to sign him. So you never know. And, you know, he might have to take a 2-way deal, similar to what Kim Hae-sung got. But I would say under the right circumstances, it's certainly possible. And we'll see what happens in the offseason. Right. You never know. And also, it could be actually a stepping stone for him if he does make that progress, and then he will get better than a little better than average player, as you mentioned. Absolutely. Jason. So sometimes just getting the call, it gives you more confidence as well. And he just signed a really big contract with Kium. So even if he doesn't go, I mean, he's got a nice fat contract with the Heroes anyways. Right. We'll see what happens. And thank you very much, Jason, for all of the K-Sports updates. Thank you, Jason. Pleasure as always. And thank you, Bella, as always. So we're going to see you back here tomorrow. Yes, I'll see you back tomorrow. Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. And please join us again tomorrow on Friday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea.